All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Serious Angler podcast. And joining actually in the nick of time, I'm actually thoroughly impressed.
Yeah,
Mr.
me too.
Adam Bartuzik.
We did
I was
it.
like,
I
woo!
just got here. I even brought a guest.
What a guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
we got
brought a
Cody
guest.
in the house.
Yeah. Have you guys met Cody Honor?
No. What's up,
I've
man?
briefly spoken to Cody on social media after he was hit by a truck.
Oh, yeah, that one time I almost died. That's right. I remember
Yeah,
now.
I was like, hey, dude, you good? And you're like, yeah, man, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that was it.
So I
Glad to
figured
have
since we're up here, Bass, and I was like, you want to just hop on and chat fantasy fishing too? I figured we might as well have the whole crew, right?
Hell
Fair.
yeah. Hey, he's got the most badass mustache on the whole live stream right now.
You brought that back.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not happy about that, but yeah.
Bailey, from when we talked an hour and a half ago, something's different. You got
Yeah,
rid of
I got rid of my
arm.
Amish beard. Yeah. I straight up looked Amish because I can get a beard that the really bad chin strap, but I don't get anything here, and it just looks really bad. So I just said, screw it, we're shaving it all off.
Like some Joe Dirt-esque.
Worse than Joe Dirt, Joe Dirt, in a carriage, Amish, the whole shebang.
I told him he should grow the mutton chops, and he told me absolutely not again.
I've done it once in college. I have photo proof of it, but it's do it for one day, say you did it, get it photo proof, and then never do it again. But we got a bunch of people joining in here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It feels like it's been a month at least since we did our last fantasy fishing.
I haven't been on it.
A month. It has been a month.
Bartuzik, it's been 3 months.
The whole
I
season.
haven't been on in a while. I'm back now, though. We're back.
He's
This
alive
last
and well.
Thursdays has been tough for me.
Well, we have Bart here tonight, but Deacon is a loser in fishing a Thursday nighter. I don't blame him. I'd fish a tournament too, but he didn't give us our picks, so we were out without Deacon's picks tonight.
That's all right.
Is that an automatic DQ?
Should
No
be.
more
It should
Deacon,
be. No.
or less Deacon we should put?
I do have his points up from Chickamauga though, so we can do our scoring. Which
Oh God,
Fun
I gotta
fact.
look at mine.
all good, but fun
I
fact.
don't even remember how I did there.
Oh, no.
just
I
just
saw the
because
tape.
I'm petty, and I'm gonna rub it in Deacon's face just for this part. So Deacon is actually crushing us in golf scoring. He's up by 5 points right now in golf scoring, but I am crushing him in points on fantasy fishing. So I guess that's how we did it. We did it with the
Okay,
golf
go get it.
scoring. So
Are you there?
Go grab it. It's fine.
all right. So boys, let's quick recap. Oh my God, here we go. We gotta get Joker on the show
Bart
tonight.
will be back. There he is. There he is.
We're back.
Nice
We got a
cutscene.
character.
Yeah, if you haven't met Cody, you're in for a treat. Are we locked in here?
Man, we're getting some penguins hating here. I'm not about this.
I can't turn this thing.
See,
Is screwed in.
Remember earlier when I said Bailey said every Rangers fan ever that
Yeah.
hit would be clean right away.
Okay.
Except that it wasn't.
It was not clean.
Not at all. He had 3 elbows to the head in the first 10 minutes. But it's not a hockey podcast. I won't get worked up. It's playoffs, so I'm kind of temperamental here. But we're gonna keep talking about fishing.
Oh, real quick before we get into the fantasy fishing, I know Matt,
Hey.
I didn't hear the Bass Talk Live, but Adam, do you want to talk about the St. Jude charity event real fast?
Yeah, we can talk about the Jude quick. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear, so me and Pangerak fished it from Bass Talk Live. It's a big fundraiser for St. Jude's Hospital, obviously. So this year we raised, as all the teams fundraise the money, so it's not like sponsors or companies or anything. All the teams combined raised $730,000, which is insane. From what I know, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, charity tournament in the country in terms of fundraising. And then also, there's big payouts, so it's a lot of fun too. Fishing was, the weights were insane. The weights were really good. I thought it was pretty grimy, for the section of the river that I wanted to fish, but I had a game plan for day one up in the lake that I knew we'd be able to kind of stay in it. I was hoping for 18 pounds, and then Panger busted a 5.5 pound smallmouth. And I was like, oh my God, that's like, that doesn't happen out here. So
Goby eater. Must have been
Yeah.
a Goby eater.
no, I mean, dude, it was so big. Like we got it in the boat. He's like, that's a nice 4-pounder. I was like, dude, I've got a lot of 4-pounders out here. This ain't one of them. But yeah, day 2 then. So this is kind of what's funny, right? With Pangrak's mentality of the opens, like go get a limit and do stuff. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to ditch everything because I saw what the bags were. So I had a pretty good idea of, okay, it went down in this section of the river. Like I can basically go scrap everything and go run my stuff down there and we'll have a shot to win it because we were in 11th. We were only like a pound and a half back at first. So I wanted to scrap everything. He wanted to go get a limit quick. So I went with him wanting to get a limit quick, and the limit was not quick. So by the time I wanted to go do my thing, there was no way we could lock.
When in doubt, blame it on Panger.
Yeah, no, it's a team effort, but we had a lot of fun. We got the max weight we could possibly get out of the section we fished. And like the average was right in line with what I kind of told him I thought was maxed out up there. But we just got really lucky with a 5.5. But yeah, it was super fun. It's nice to get the Derby season rolling again up north. Yeah, everything's kicking off. It finally got warm. It was like what, 93 today?
Yeah, like despite the storms and stuff, it topped out at home. It was 96 degrees and humid.
Yeah, the Midwest melted ice and warmed up fast.
Where like 2 weeks ago, it was 35 highs.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
I think we hit 88 today. So
Really?
that was good. While I was on the water. Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah,
brutal.
I went to
Don't
the
hot.
complain.
Oh, I'm complaining.
I like
hate
60s.
the heat. I hate the heat. I got in my truck today once to go to the post office, and it read 102 from the sun, and I was miserable. I was straight up pissed. Like I get mad when it's hot. I am such a winter boy. It is not even funny. Like you can hear my fiance. Like there is a shift in my general mood when it is above 80 degrees.
Bailey, where are you from?
From Buffalo. I'm from an hour east of Buffalo, but
And
I'm
you
in
like
Buffalo
the
now.
winter. That is brutal.
Indy
That
guy
is
is on
tough.
the Erie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big small.
This
So he's
guy,
a fan
this
of
guy
what
does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
been fun. It's been fun.
Believe
We're
it.
catching them today on blades in 40 foot of water. Yeah.
If he picks up a blade bait tomorrow, I'm gonna punt him.
I actually like cut all of them off for tomorrow. So
That's funny.
Geez. Hey, Amanda.
All right. So let's start
Sorry.
digging into it real quick. Let's start digging into Chickamauga. Like, what are you guys' takeaways beyond that? It was an absolutely, probably one of the most historically brutal last days in Bassmaster history.
I'm gonna be straight up honest here. I don't remember when this event was, and I know I didn't watch any of it. But my fantasy team did
1 month and 5 days ago.
So if anyone else has feedback, go for it. But I don't
right.
know what I was doing at this point in time.
Well,
Crazy.
we can keep it short. I mean, because it was a month ago. There's been enough recaps.
Yeah.
Christy got another W. He's unstoppable because he's in this mental state where he does not give a living shit about anything besides because he's already made the classic. He doesn't care. So he's scary as all get out.
Hero or zero. That's
yeah.
the way I like it.
There's
Fun.
hunters and there's gatherers. That guy like embodies the hunter versus the gatherers, which is like the other, all four of us here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you got like 80% of the field that probably more that goes out and they're like, yeah, I need to catch 5, I need a limit, I need to qualify the classic. Where Christy goes out and like looks at the bass and goes, I'm gonna snatch your ass. Like, and that's all.
So I did have a thought for that tournament. So like it seems like with every major body of water down in the TVA, like they always have like their ups and downs. Right now, that body of water is like it seems like it's tapped out. Like it's just tapped out.
It's like you're got the one guy that's like in the ring hanging on by his last leg that's just getting brutally like just messed up. Like, I mean, 1,400 boats on it a weekend. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's like Gunnersville. Like what used to be 25 pounds is a good bag, but not a great bag. And now it's like 15 pounds is all that we can muster out of the best in the top 10 of a tournament in May.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
I did see, I think it was on the Fishing Wire recently that I can't remember specifically the name of the group, but basically they work with the Tennessee Fisheries and Wildlife, that they're looking heavily into how many tournaments are run on the Tennessee River, not just Chickamauga, but Gunnersville, Wilson, the whole 9 yards, like every lake.
Yeah.
How many tournaments are run per week, and then see if there's something they can do to start limiting how many tournaments are run out of there and see if they can help with the pressure. I don't know what they can legally do.
Well, I'm
But,
also just curious, like, why don't we see more bigger events on like Wilson or
Good point.
Wheeler, or
Nickajack.
stuff like that? It's like, why don't we put a tournament out of there? You know, maybe you can lock if you want to, but then it's like you're taking a lot of pressure off of Chick if you put it out of Nickajack.
Like,
you know,
look at Kentucky Lake.
yeah,
example.
Kentucky Lake, for example. Yeah.
I feel like you used to see that back when it was FLW. You used to see Wheeler and like those
Yeah,
small,
we
like
haven't
smaller
seen
S
Wheeler.
lakes. You know, you
Yeah.
don't see that anymore, unfortunately. But
Well, with the Elite Series field only being 100 boats, like they can easily go to Wilson or Wheeler. You know, like that's
oh,
not.
shoot, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna talk like upper echelon, I mean, you could take the BPT. It's only 40 boats a day. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you don't need to go to those big lakes anymore.
Right.
But I mean, I get the whole thing of like going to places that are going to pay you. I mean, business
It's all
is
about
business.
the money.
Yeah.
I think what was really cool though from that event, kind of going back, I think you and I were, now that I'm starting to remember this event a little bit,
Yeah.
I think him and I were together and talking about it at the time because we were talking about you catching them on mag drafts.
Yeah.
Back when you were on the tour
Yeah.
down there, and how it like was the exact same, except
Yeah.
the fish caliber was just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Basically. Like seeing Carl throw that glide was awesome.
Dude, that
Yeah.
was
Especially because like
Mhm.
I got a film with Carl a couple days on Chick when I stayed with him down there 2 years ago. So like some of the stuff he was fishing, I was like, I remember this. Like this is so cool. Like he pitches by a tree and like I'm like I remember him like looking at me and being like, I saw an 8-pounder come out of that tree last week. Like stuff like that. Like it's really cool. Like seeing him do that glide bait thing. And we almost saw a tournament legitimately won just on a glide bait. And that might be the closest you're going to get.
yeah. I mean, we've seen like amazing
Fork.
days on a
Could
glide
happen at
bait.
Fork.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it could happen this one at Fork too.
we could see it here with Zaldane. I mean, Livesey dropped like an 8.5 pounder. He said that would have helped his 42.5 pound bag last year on a glide bait. He's just like, yeah, should have thrown a topwater. Probably would have caught the dang thing. But yeah, I mean, guys are throwing glides. You'll see glides next week, I'm sure. And we're going to get into Fork in a second. But real quick, let's go through our points from Chickamauga and update our golf scoring. But Bart, I don't know if you heard while you were, I think you're doing something real fast. But right now, Deacon is leading the golf scoring by 5 points. But on Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing, I am beating him. So this is, I think next year we're going straight to just fantasy fishing points.
No, this is how you keep us in it. It'll level out. Just let the golf scoring do its thing.
We'll see. It's just
All
my,
right,
my petty competitiveness.
Yeah, I want to hear what the scores at are after we find this out because I know I gave you guys a head start to start this year. So
Yeah, you did.
into my wheelhouse now.
All right. So we'll start out with Deacons. Deacon went and had a bad tournament. Had a guy,
About
had Williams in 81st, Felix in 64th, Welcher in 71st, John Cox in 33rd. And then, but he did call Christie's win. So he did have a first with 906 points.
Ooh,
Ouch.
yeah.
Big ouch. And I will follow up with that. Let me actually select my Chickamauga Lake here. I'm still on Fork. All right. I had Brandon Lester with 20, who got 23rd. Takumi Ito, 38th. Felix, I had Felix as well, 64th. Hunter Schrack, 29th. And Jacob Fouts, 3rd for 1,082 points. I'm thinking that Bart had a really good day or a good tournament. So
Andy, what do you have?
All right, so I had BP with 254, Taku who had 199. I had Fighter. I went with Bart's favorite choice from last year. He finished 46 for 183. Then I had Carl with 277 and Fouts with 290 for 1203.
Ooh, Andy got
God damn.
Yeah, I won one.
Yeah, good job. See, now we're leveling out. But I had I had John Cox in 33rd, Perosnik in 27th, Pipkins in 68th hurt me. Then I had Carl and Fouts as well. So I had 1,136.
36. Okay.
Yep. So good
Yeah,
amount.
I'm gonna be leading. I got third, and I'm still gonna be leading fantasy fishing. This is BS. That's what this is.
So what's the scoring at now? Where are we at?
All right, so we will tally it up because the current standings prior to this tournament was Deacon was in the lead with 5. I was in second with 10. Bart was in third with 11. So I think you and I are gonna be tied now, if I'm doing my math right. And Andy had 14. So that changes Andy to 15. That takes Bart to 13. Myself to 13. And Deacon to 9.
There we
Ooh,
go.
it's tightening up.
We're getting a little bit closer here.
Yeah. 2 big events for Deacon coming up here.
And dude, this, we can start getting into it now, but like Fork is going to be like, I was looking at the buckets, dude. I was like, this is going to suck. Like, this is going to be a straight up, like, you could either have a really bad tournament or like, it's going to shake some stuff up. Like, especially the folks that are really doing really well in fantasy fishing right now. I think this will really shake up the standings because I'm looking back on the past couple of weeks in Texas in general, weather-wise, and it has been straight up like mid-70s to mid-80s. And, dude, next week, the lowest temperature throughout the week in terms of a high is 92.
Ooh, so it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Shats ball.
Friday of the event is going to be 97.
Probably done, yeah.
So Thursday is going to be 94, mostly sunny. South, every day is about south from 13 to 15 miles an
So
hour.
are you riding Keith Combs or are you
Which one are you taking?
So it's Thursday. Thursday is 94 degrees. Friday is 97. Saturday is 96. And Sunday is 92.
So
these guys are gonna like if you're fishing day 4, you're gonna be like
done.
You're gonna spend more money in water than you will gas for this trip. It's gonna be brutally hot. But yes, I mean, it is
Keith Combs.
Yeah.
Oh, and he almost just won Rayburn, so he's kind of got his thing back too.
Yeah, he's getting that mojo.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Of Combs, and then Livy C who just
yeah.
won Ross Barnett. But yeah, all right, bucket A.
Well, before we get into bucket A,
yeah, what are you thinking?
I mean, I think prediction. We're just quickly go over predictions here on how it's going to be won, but I think we're all going to be on the same page here. That it's either going to be one or the other, or a mix of glide baits, or like how we saw Livesey with some topwater deal, but it's probably going to be one predominantly offshore, deep cranking, swim baits, hair jig. I don't know how much shallow is
jerk baits and trees.
Yeah.
Live scope.
I'll say this because I'm the bypass person. If you're not all in on the deep water game, foolish.
I'm glad you said that because that is the entire game plan I had. So does anyone disagree? Andy, Bart, you guys disagree? Do you think that's just basically it's going to be?
No, I think
Yeah,
I think that, but I think one thing we've seen at Fork when it is very offshore is that place fish are pretty small.
And it's a great point here. To that point of fishing small is the water is still low.
Yeah, the water's still really low. I don't know if they're going to be wicked. I mean, they're going to obviously be offshore, but I think you could have some weird shallow topwater stuff still going on just because of how.
Well, yeah, if you think about it, with the water being that low, there might be some areas that could be you could do well shallow, but like you're sitting in deep water because that water's down so much. It can create like areas that are shallow but that have deep access stuff like right next to it. If you think about it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it could be interesting.
I think it'll be a different fork event than we've seen. I mean, with the water super low, I think we're all going to see that. Like, well, that's a heck of a comment. That kind of
yeah. We got a comment here from Brian, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry.
Have heard that. Like, I've heard forks fishing insane because of the low water. So I do think it's going to be really big weights. I'm just concerned of how small it's going to fish.
Yeah, bumper boats.
But yeah, I think we're going to see some really cool stuff there. You always do whenever they go to fork. It's fork.
So we have this comment here from Brian saying that Livesey said on Bassmaster Radio he thinks there will be 132 pounds caught on fork this tournament. That would be, I don't even know. I don't know if I have words for that comment, to be honest. But I'd just say let's bring it on.
That's over 35 a day, right?
But
yeah,
is that like
that's like over 40?
Yeah, but what was Combs with the 3-day? Didn't he get a century with 3-day ones?
He had 100 and like close to 115. Mark me if I'm wrong, but
for 3 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so seeing that, like, they live there. Like, it's not that out of the question. It's just the stars have to align. So
right.
And right now, how they're aligning, low water, fish moving out, like past post spawn.
Yeah, it could be fireworks. It could be.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, it really could be insane.
When you have schools of 100 fish and you just have to make one cast.
Yeah. Good gosh.
It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, before we start diving into these picks, I want to see some hot takes, some crazy predictions in the comments because we have 4 prize packs to give away. So we got stuff from Queen Tackle, from Omnia Fishing, Hobie Eyewear, and Humminbird Minn Kota. So let's keep getting those comments up. If you guys got something crazy theory-wise, you get that'll spark a conversation or something, throw it in the comments. We'll pick somebody to win. So Bart, here what we'll do. Bart, you're in charge of the Minn Kota Humminbird pack.
Okay.
And then Cody, what we'll do for you is we're going to put you in charge of a comment you really like, okay? That'll be our Omnia Fishing winner. Okay?
All right. I can do that.
Andy, do you want to take Queen? I'll take Hobie.
Sure, I'll take Queen. That's fine.
All right. Sweet. Okay, I seen a comment from Jim Johnson, who's always in here, and he always says that whoever he picks does not do well. And I'll start the buckets off here with this point. He said he's taking Taco Ito, and Jim, you're gonna have to change your pick because that's my bucket A pick, is Takumi Ito, and he did well last year offshore, okay, and he was doing something wild. He was swimming a wacky rigged Senko, which is like, you think about Senko as something you let just dead stick and let fall, right? But he's like literally swimming it, like slow rolling it like you would a swim bait. So I think when we're talking offshore, Takumi Ito is Takumi Ito is gonna be. He probably won't win. He won't win, but he's been too dang consistent. Cody South Daytona put the shades on. That's funny.
My man.
Okay, this is interesting. Takuito went on a spy bait. I don't know about a spy bait.
Could you imagine?
I don't know if they make a spy bait big enough for those bass.
I'm just thinking like spy bait and spinning tackle in timber. Like how much of a nightmare that sounds.
And like a 12-pounder on like those baby trebles. Could you imagine? Heart attack.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm gonna have to say a big old no to that one.
All right, I'll go my bucket A pick, and then I'll kind of scroll through bucket A so Cody can look and see if he likes anybody else. But this one's obvious in my opinion. You have to go Patrick Walters because he just doesn't suck here. Like he does really well. Everybody remembers Walters for like Obviously in the trees with a jerk bait, he might be doing that. Water's really low, so we'll see what's going on there. But like Patrick Walters, correct me if I'm wrong, made the Elite Series like shallow cranking and like fishing around shallow cover and stuff. Plus he's really good offshore. I just think he's really good, and he obviously understands something about this place. And I just can't not go with him. There's no one else in that bucket I look at and I'm like, oh, they'll probably make the top 10. I look at Patrick Walters and I'm like, yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, smart pick. Yeah.
I'll scroll through here. Andy,
Bart's playing the long game here.
Oh, you want me to go? I'll go. So I'm going with another person, not Patrick Walters, who is one in Texas, and I'm going to take BP. Even though he's one on Rayburn, I feel like he always does well when there's big fish involved, and he is highly owned. But I had a feeling everybody was going to choose Patrick Walters, so I wanted to be a little different.
If there's anything we have learned and that I have been at fault for, it is at a tournament where you don't know who to pick and saying, oh, it doesn't seem like Brandon Pollock's tournament, but he's good every freaking place he goes to.
Yeah.
So he's always a safe pick. But I was on that same train of thought, Andy, though. Like with Taku.
In consolation, if it was a spawn fest, I would have picked Drew Cook. And when I picked him originally, like 4 weeks ago, I had Drew Cook because I was like, oh, they might still be spawning.
Could you imagine?
Everything was way behind.
Could you imagine if it was a spawn derb and trying to choose someone in bucket A when you have Drew Benton, Brandon Cobb, Drew Cook, John Cox, Corey Johnston, and then you have Jacob Porosnik, Cliff Perch. Could you imagine trying to pick one of them?
Impossible.
It's close your eyes and throw it out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's say, yep, nope, I quit. You win, Bassmaster. Oh, gosh. There's a lot of good picks in here, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Honor found one. Is that who you were going to pick?
That's my pick.
All right.
So my pick is obviously 3.2%. David Mullins.
He's been hot, yeah.
Deep water fisherman, deep water assassin right there.
Great with the
I like that
scope
pick
and
a
the
lot.
crankbait.
Like, we're not talking TVA ledge because he grew up on what the hell is that place called?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for backing me up. God.
Are we going like weird, like Dale Hollow or something?
No. Not Douglas.
Douglas.
There it is. So it's not super current based, but there is a little bit of flow to it. And I feel like a guy who, like, he's good with a worm, he's good with dragon baits, and he's good with just offshore fishing. I feel like that's a guy out of all the picks that I have there, as far as an offshore fisherman, that would be a stable horse, super stable horse.
He's been so consistent this year, too.
Yeah.
It's hard not to pick, or it's hard to go against him, I should say.
Yeah. Yep.
But so we have a comment here from Warren talking about Luke Palmer. I mean, it is hard to pick against Luke this year. The dude's consistent as all get out.
I wanted to pick Luke because, especially with it being low, I felt like it was going to fish kind of Oklahoma-y, if that's even a word. But
it can be.
Yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. That's the
wacky worm and a beaver.
Yeah,
let's
just
go to work.
Weird. But it's just impossible for me to go against Patrick Walters. But I think Luke Palmer, he's such a good pick most places. It's just, I actually went and looked. What are you doing here? But yeah, it's impossible for me to go against Walters. And I think I looked at the standings, and I don't know if Palmer's done very well here. And I feel like this is a lake where you either, like, if you do really well, you do really well a lot, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think if anything, after the Santee event, like, the stigma with him was he's always so consistent, right? And he's always, in the top 30. He's always cashing checks, but he can never, catch the mega bag. But I think he debunked the living crap out of that at Santee with 30 pounds.
So,
yeah.
He's good.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does well. I mean, he's out of this bucket. It's hard to isolate him, but I wouldn't say Luke's a bad pick. There's really not anyone in this bucket that is a bad pick, to be honest. I mean, there's definitely your favorites. So I think, like Andy mentioned, even with this bucket in general, throw a dart at the board, and you're probably going to wind up okay. Mm-hmm. Like the only one I'd be somewhat worried about is like a Shakurit. Maybe he doesn't have any experience.
Don't you talk about my boy that way. Don't you talk about him that way.
All right, we're just gonna let the temper fall a little bit here. I don't want to get the stash angry.
Oh man, he's gonna have to put the shades back on and stare through you.
That's right. Yeah, go calm down. Calm down. Put your shades on. So I would give out Deacon's pick, but he was a loser and he's fishing a tournament and didn't text me his picks, so we can't get Deacon's picks for this one.
Oh,
so we are going to change over to Group B, and we can keep the order going. Unless Bart, do you want to go first?
I can just go so that I can give Hunter some time to look through.
We can do that.
So I'm doing mine literally solely based off of how poor the first part of his season was, I felt like, compared to his capability. So I'm going back to Seth. I think you shake off a lot of rust from coming back down. He's been able to be back home, fish a bit, kind of reset the mind almost, like have a month off, kind of get over the AOI hangover kind of. And he's done well here in the past. He does well on fork typically. So that's just my pick, and it's mainly off of like swagger and mojo type of thing. I think this is an event where he's going to kind of get the ball rolling again.
I'm trying to remember if it was 2 years ago or if it was last year when it was like half spawn, half offshore. But Fighter's Bite was offshore. So I think he's no stranger,
year, I believe.
Where he was catching him cranking deeper.
Big square bill, right?
Giant square bill, I believe, yeah.
I mean, he's no stranger to it, so I could see that. I mean, he's got experience on the body of water. So I don't see why not.
And I think that does help a lot with fork.
Yes. Yeah, just being more comfortable with the layout of that place. I will go second because Andy was our leader from last week. I'll let you go last, Andy. I will go next and say I'm going with Buddy Gross. That is who I am, just a guy that's damn good with electronics and knows how to find fish when they're not shallow. I mean, you can find them everywhere, but when they're deep, Buddy Gross just seems to have an edge at locating those fish. And we've seen it in multiple different places of the country right now. So I'm going Buddy Gross for the simple fact of what Cody and I were saying earlier of just having that offshore mindset. That is purely my reason. And Buddy Gross isn't afraid of Texas. He's done well there. So that's my pick. You want Cody to go next? Do you have his pick yet?
Well, I'll go real fast, then Cody can go. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
So first, I like this thing here. Swindle's going to junk fish his way to a top 10. He always seems to do well in Texas. If there's a shad spawn, he'll probably catch him on a popper or spinnerbait. That is my pick. But also, Team South Florida Fishing, because we are in line here, is going to win a Queen Tackle gift thing here. So, gift thing. Was it $25?
$25.
25? Yeah.
$25 gift card.
So hit us up on Instagram and we'll get that code over to you so you get $25 off Queen Tackle.
Heck yeah.
All right, Hunter.
All right. So I also have Buddy Gross just from the offshore experience, and I am going all in on the offshore deal on Lake Fork. Like, that guy knows electronics. He knows how to catch them offshore. But I will say this, because I have no bones in this game. I will put a Cody Huff into that mix just for the fact that little boy knows how to catch them offshore.
That's a
that little boy.
Most of his tournament wins have come offshore. That guy knows how to catch them offshore, and he knows how to catch them in Texas. Like, he's caught him on, I believe, Rayburn.
Toledo, you won, I think.
Toledo. That was it.
You're spooning, I think.
Yes. But he knows how they live offshore out in Texas. like that is a wild card right there. And that if you want to ride that horse, I'm with you.
I love this comment right here. I love this. Oh, that's good.
Who's the new guy? Don't worry about him.
Ron, Ron, you just won yourself some Hobie shades because that gave me a good laugh.
Nice.
Ron, get in touch with us over email or social. We're gonna send you some Hobie shades. I'm sorry, that was comment of the night so far.
All right, that was
That's
good.
good.
That was a good bucket. That was a good bucket.
No one said Chris Zaldane.
Dude,
No one said him.
He's
that
probably
guy,
going to get in the top
he
10, but
rides
you
hard
never
on-
know.
He rides hard on rhythm, in my opinion, and when he's fishing good, he's fishing good. I love Zaldane. I think he's great. I think he's great for the sport. I think if Zaldane fished to try to win tournaments, not try to catch 3 giant fish in an event, he would do a lot better, a lot more often. This is an event that he can do very well in, trying to catch a couple big fish. But we've seen it bite him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But he did great here last time. I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, just tell the guy to pick up the damn Nico rig that he's so good with for 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes out of the day so he can finish the damn bag, and he probably would have had a few wins by now.
Like when you catch a 4-pounder on a wacky rig and then you go, California mode. And throw a swim bait. It's like,
He's probably got the biggest opponent, but still.
What's the over-under on
Better than
Zaldane
me.
showing up with a new gigantic flutter spoon? One we haven't seen yet. It's going to be the size of a spade shovel.
No, I mean, we're going to get the
Be
first
wicking
looks
it
at
out
the whole, I don't know if you guys have seen the social media, and I shouldn't say craze, but people talking of the mag draft killer, as they're calling it. You'll probably see that appear down at Fork. Whatever he's got whipping up with the old Guggen baits.
Yes, I did see that.
Which I'm going to put it right out there. There's people shitting on it, but like I'm genuinely excited for it. That'll be the first Guggen bait I ever buy. If it's legit. Look at that. Look at this sucker too. Look at that.
oh, I know that. I know
Do you?
that.
What is it? I bet you don't know it.
I wish I could zoom.
Oh, no,
I wish I could zoom.
I'm sorry. I totally went all in. I was wrong.
These are a couple prototypes that Bailey and I had sent to
You're
us.
showing a prototype on a podcast?
Yeah,
Are they going to
okay.
kill you for that?
Probably not, because he's already posted it.
No.
As he puts them away.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that, though. Yeah.
They're gonna catch fish.
Here's what before we keep moving on the buckets here, really fast. Someone that's been like shocking everyone, I think, with at least big bass and places where he's not from at all, is Pat Schlapper.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps catching giants in the south.
Schlapper is on a big fish bend right now. He's catching a lot of them.
That boy
Also-
can throw a jig.
Yeah, he can. Do you also watch his TikToks and his Instagram reels?
No, but
Big fan of the Pat Schlapper dancing TikToks.
He is, yeah. Oh,
He's a goof.
on
I'm all
Wisconsin.
for it.
So one person I actually saw, and for no reason I think they should, or actually they do have a reason to do well here. They, I think, did okay last year. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think this is an event you could see Scott Martin do really well. He has a lot of experience on fork, not necessarily in tournaments, but he has a ton of experience on fork. Really low percentage. But yeah, I think that's a guy you could see do pretty well there.
That is a solid pick.
I almost picked him, but I'm going over the fight. I'm going with the Minnesota boy. He's getting back on track before they head north.
So really fast, again, I mean, more that I look at this, the more I can see other possibilities. But I mean, Jason Christie, hot off another win, still scary. You have Greg Hackney because he's freaking Greg Hackney. And then you have Caleb Kufal, who's on a tear already this year.
Can I take my pick back?
Yes.
Can I go Jason Christie because he has experience offshore? And
Also, he's at 0.1%, but don't sleep on Joseph Webster. He's got a lot of experience there too.
ooh, yeah, ooh, that's a good pick. That is
Ooh.
good.
We
pick.
need to like get these recordings of the Cody sound effects for like I need a soundboard. I just need the ooh, but just like a you know the fat heads where you can get just the shape of someone's head, where we can do the sound and it just pops up in the top right corner of just Cody's face, the stash. Just,
Can I buy one?
With the sunglasses. Has to have the sunglasses on. Though.
Yes. All right. Before we keep getting distracted here,
Ooh.
let's move on to Group C. Bart, kick us off.
Group C. I'm just making sure there isn't someone else I wanted to pick here, but so I'm going with Brandon Card. He's routinely done pretty well here. He does well offshore. Honestly, I just kind of feel like it's a safe pick in a bucket that I don't really feel safe with anyone. The only person I was really thinking of taking and still debating on was Kenta Kimura.
Ooh,
I really think this could be a big Kenta event. But, yeah, that's who I'm going with. I'm going with Brandon Card.
Heck yeah. And really fast before I give my pick, we still have the Omnia Fishing $25 gift card and the Humminbird and Minn Kota swag pack available. So keep getting those comments out there. And Bart and Cody will be picking some winners here. So my pick, keep it on this train of offshore and somebody that can find them off the bank. I'm going with Gussie. I think he's done well in Texas. I think it's just one
throwing a big square bill too.
He does. He likes to crank. He ain't afraid of a hair jig. I think he's one that could do well, and he's one I see on Bassmaster Live, either on day 3, almost squeaking in the top 10, or potentially even shocking people and getting the top 10. And he's at 3%. So I always have this weird thing with Brandon Card. I was thinking about him as well. But every time I pick him, he doesn't do well. And then every time I don't pick him, he does well. So I just kind of stay away from Brandon Card. So that's why I'm going Gussie here. I don't know who else to take. I mean, Brock Mosley's he's a percentage up there, but I'll let you guys have your picks here. But, Andy, what's your pick?
Oh, I am so undecided in this group. I think I've changed it like 9 times in the last 40 minutes. That's why I keep looking down, because I'm like, who do I pick in bucket C? If it was a little earlier, I think I would go Caleb, because didn't Caleb have a really good tournament there last year? If I remember correctly, Caleb Summerall catching him on top water.
I can't recall.
I thought that was Capo.
It was Capo. See, getting people messed up.
Yeah, top water, right? Top water right on seawalls.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not going that way, but I am going to go Kenta because he lives in Texas. My other choice was Clark Wendlandt, and I kept going back and forth between those two, but I can't trust Clark anymore after he won AOY. It's like he just kind of disappeared.
Well, I think Clark, too, you pick him a lot when they go to Texas, and he never really does that well.
Yeah.
I want him to, but he doesn't.
He spent too much time in smallmouth country. He forgot the ways.
He's a safer pick on the St. Lawrence than he is in Texas.
Yes.
That's saying something about he's from Texas. That's saying something.
All right, Hunter, you've been scrolling through. Who are you going to go with?
Kenta, by far.
By far. That's bold. Do explain.
So you fished against Kenta in the open.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Fork is a very, very pressured place. Those schools that are out there are super found. They know, everyone knows where they're at and what they're doing at all times. But there's something to be said about, it seems like there's a Japanese takeover when it comes to I've seen it personally on Rayburn, where there's been a community school and they'll throw God knows what out there and catch fish, where I'm throwing a 10XT just winding and not catching anything, or a swim bait not catching anything, and these guys are just raking them in. So for me, pressured fisheries, I would go with that Japanese wisdom.
I like it.
I'm going with Kenta.
I like the hell out of that.
It's like Japanese sorcery to catch bass.
That's exactly what it is. Samurai out there.
That's right. That's right. I'm all about that move. Yeah, dude. I could definitely see that.
Oh,
All
these
right.
next two buckets are gonna be so easy.
I think we're all gonna probably have
We
the
all have
same
the
exact
exact-
thing.
On the count of 3.
Yeah. All
No,
right, buckets
really,
easy.
really fast.
So
Really fast.
Lee Livesey? You want to put Lee Livesey?
Okay, let's just do this. Let's do this.
Let's play a game. Lee
Raise
Livesey or the bucket.
Right. That is
Lee
probably the
Livesey.
highest percentage
How
I
about you
think I've
can't
ever
pick Lee
seen.
Livesey in the chat.
Yeah, that's a great comment. If you did not pick Lee Livesey in Group D, put it in the chat because I am beyond curious. Because 68% might be the highest percentage I think I've seen in ever doing fantasy
Well, it's
fishing.
like Johnston's on the St. Lawrence, and this is
But
like
they
we
didn't
talked
even
about-
hit 68. They hit
No,
like
they were
48.
Chris does. Chris gets upper 50s. But this is where
68?
you say, like, people say high percentages are bad. This percentage is so high that if you don't take it,
You're
it's bad.
screwed. You're screwed.
It has the opposite effect.
Yeah. But
Oh, look at
for the
this.
sake of conversing, we're all picking Lee Livesey, obviously.
We got 2 Matty Wongs, 3 Matty Wongs.
3 Matty Wongs.
Who
Nope,
would
it's
you
2.
pick if Lee Livesey decided not to show up?
I'd be between Chad Pipkins, who's done well there, Rick Klun, who's done well there,
Mark
or
Menendez had-
Masayuki Matsushita, my favorite name to say on planet Earth. But really fast, while you guys are going through these things, because I'm pretty sure all 3 of us picked Livesey.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't think, and I'm going on a hunch here, I don't think Deacon made his picks. So I think we just don't tell him about picks for the whole week.
Oh,
So he doesn't say anything. And
oh
then
no.
you.
DQ'd. Big
Off with
fat
his head.
4. Big fat 4, the golf score.
So
No, we
if
gotta tell
I
him.
had to pick someone who is not Lee Livesey, offshore solely because I know
yeah,
he's not
I know
going to make
it's
a
coming.
single cast
I
in
know it's
practice,
coming.
is going to be Austin Felix.
Oh, nailed it. Yep.
He's had a
Should've
really
known that
bad
was
year to
coming.
start, and he's really good on deep ledge schools.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Very good.
So I would pick Felix if I didn't pick Livesey.
Yeah. I mean, he's done here, but complete opposite of offshore. He caught the same 5 fish 3 days in a row, it seemed like.
He's a very good sight fisherman too. But he's one extreme or the other. He's either staring at them or
looking at them at his graph.
Yeah, looking at them at his graph. He's a sight fisherman.
Anyone else that we would pick before we move to the last group?
It looks like the overall consensus in the chat is Matty Wong.
I think people just like Matty Wong.
He's a good
There's
dude.
no reason to pick him.
But here's a really good point. This is a great point. Swim baits.
Yeah.
He's got that Cali experience.
Mm,
He's damn good with the glide, dude. And you saw my chick.
yeah, but I think the other thing is when you get to fork, it's great if you know how to throw it, but are you okay with like idling through minefields of stumps? Because that's going to take him a day and a half to get used to as a rookie.
Well, the
Anything.
event,
Right, that was it.
the river that he qualified for the elites on was exactly the same. Basically, I can't recall.
And you did it with black and white graphs.
That
like
was
old-
Ouachita, I think, wasn't it?
Some river that was like a disaster to try to maneuver.
Yeah, I think it's Ouachita or not Ouachita.
Was it the Red River?
No, it's
No,
where
it was in.
Calabas is in the chat. He was there last year. So, but
All right.
yeah,
Before we get into the last bucket, I'll remind you two dorks down there in
Shut
the
up.
Midwest.
Yeah, you guys still have to choose somebody.
We got 2 packages still up for some winners.
oh, I will pick. Oh shoot, someone picked the Hunter, put the shades guy on, didn't they?
That was my pick. It's about me.
Okay, fine. You can
The
pick.
shades about Deacon?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Put your
Yeah.
sunglasses on, Cody. That was way early on.
Warren Beard.
Warren Beard. All right. Well,
That
early
man
on, we'll
has
try to
got
find the
that
comment.
broom
We're gonna
on him.
find the comment 3 years later, Bart.
Well, it's Warren Beard.
All right.
Well, Warren, I think he's still on. If he's still on,
He is.
Warren,
He just commented.
which package is he winning? Omnia or Humminbird Minn Kota?
Omnia, dude.
Okay.
Me.
I wasn't sure who was picking him. Bart said his name, so I was like, who the heck is winning? All right. Warren, get in touch with us, buddy. I'm pretty sure Warren has won Hobie Shades or something before. And we'll get you sent out an Omnia fishing gift card for $25. So that means all we have left is a Humminbird and Minn Kota swag pack
Yes.
for whoever can impress
comment
Bartusic
them
here.
So
All right, so we do the same thing.
comment the weight of the biggest smallmouth Hunter and I are going to catch in the next few days. It could
2
be
pounds.
3-7.
It could be anywhere from 0 to 8. Have fun.
What if
For
they
the
go
record,
over 8? Does it
we
not
are back
qualify?
here again.
3.2 pounds.
Oh, gosh. All right. Group E, while they get those comments in for you,
All right.
Bart.
All right.
Yeah.
Group E, should we just do the same deal here of like raise your hand if you did not choose Keith Combs?
We all pick Keith Combs, right?
Yes.
I picked
yeah.
Keith Combs, yeah.
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 You
Okay,
have to.
well, who else is on this list?
If you're not picking Keith Combs, who are you picking?
We got one
What?
Keith
I don't
Combs.
know if You're so low in the fantasy points.
Oh, damn.
I had Steve Kennedy, Ike and Ellie. Never know with Steve Kennedy and Big Fish.
Whoa, this. What about
That
Ike?
man. That man right there.
No, god damn it, no.
No, Paul can't win. Paul can't win. Sorry, Paul.
Not allowed. No, he can win if you really want. He's a friend of the show. Josh Douglas. We got old Douglas in the chat.
I love Dougie, but I don't know if I would pick Dougie here.
I'm gonna clip that and send it to him.
No, he'd be like fair. I mean, he's really good in Texas. He's almost won a couple, but I just don't have that feeling for him. He is very good outdoor though.
If it was like a month ago, I'd pick Justin Atkins, although I've been burned. Like
Dude, you
5
do this
times.
literally every time it's a
I
site
know.
you pick Justin Atkins.
Because it's a
Every
smart pick,
single
but it never
time,
works
and it
out.
Never works.
Here's one for you.
Let's hear it.
Probably not expecting it. Brad Waitley.
Watley.
Yup. Yup. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Lock
mean,
it in. Group
we're
E,
going-
Brad Waitley, guaranteed.
Watley.
What the fuck do you say?
Oh, that's funny.
Eh?
Eh?
I was
I
very
mean-
wrong about my maybe Ike AOI earlier this year, but I think
Said that?
yeah,
We're clipping that. And
I
sending
think
it to
this
Ike.
could be a good event for Ike. He's got a lot of history down here, and he's fished really bad.
Oh man,
So you would think he'll eventually turn it on, but maybe
I could
not.
see
Yeah,
Frank
Right there.
Talley's a local. You got Paul Mueller, who's really good with those electronics.
Solid pick.
You got Steve Kennedy, who's a big fish Steve Kennedy, so he'll probably make the top 10 and then get second place. And then you got obviously Ike, who's got experience there. It's not a spawn derb, so you can't look at Hudnall. Man,
Obviously,
dice
Brad-
case could be a
Brad
surprise.
Watley.
Who knows? I thought it was Waitley.
You're wrong. You're so wrong.
I love this.
Oh my gosh.
oh, I hope not. I'll drown Hunter if that's the biggest one we catch. Caught bigger one than that on the Mississippi.
5.8 ounces. That's what they said. 5 ounces, boys. Good luck.
We'll give it to Old Toad.
Old time.
We'll get Humminbird stuff. I like the
All right.
negativity. I feed off of that.
All right, Old Toad, get in touch with us. We'll send you some Humminbird Minn Kota merch. All right, so here's the interesting part. I'm really curious to see what you guys have. Yeah, we're gonna go to weight. Now we have all the groups, all the picks in. What do you guys have for weight? Throw it out there, Bart.
I rolled with 106.2.
I went 112 and 11 ounces.
Ooh.
Andy?
110.12.
Oh, okay, we're pretty close. All right, Cody.
What's the date? When's it happening?
Next
week.
weekend.
Early next week.
Next week. 108 3/4. So
108.12.
108.12.
Okay.
So I think
Sounds
we're
like we
all
all
at
have high expectations. Yeah.
Mark it. What do I win if I get that?
Extra
You get
points. And
I'll text
Bassmaster
you
Fantasy.
saying congrats, man.
A round of applause.
We have apparently someone they think there's gonna be a 15-pound big bass. I don't know.
I feel like Fork
15
hasn't put out
pounds.
like giants, but it puts out a lot of like 8 to
15-pound
10.
like right off the bed. Good God. I could say I'm gonna say I think the big bass won't even touch 10.
Ivy.
Yeah, it'll be around 8 to 10 pounds.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be low 9s. I'm gonna say it's not even gonna touch 10.
I'm gonna say Big Bass is 11.2.
11-2. Okay. Cody, 6 pounds, 5.
Yeah, probably like a 3.5.
Ounces.
No, I would say 11 1/4. So whatever that is.
He's not a math guy.
Yeah, I see that.
11.4.
No, I'm not.
That stash is getting in the way, I guess. All right, we have a 105. We have a 106, 115.
Yeah, we're all in the same ballpark.
We have a 91-1.
Paul thinks it's a 3-day derby or a 2-day derby. 71.9.
I think you forgot. I think you forgot it.
That's the cut weight.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
It very well might be.
It is not a 2-day tournament.
My man.
We have an 87,
Those fish must be skinny.
95.5. We have a 12-pound big fish. Let's see, 10-10 big fish. So we have a wide range of predictions out there. But I think the consensus for the group of us here on live stream is it's going to be over 105 pounds. Because it's at least, I mean,
it always is.
Good gosh, I can't speak. The weather can change a lot in a week, but looking at it and how consistent it is,
what's the wind like? That's the biggest issue.
Stays 10 to 12 out of the south every single day.
Yeah, they're going to fish every day.
Mostly sunny.
I think it's just going to fish really small.
Yeah.
That's why my weight's lower. I think they're going to absolutely smash them, but it's going to fish small.
I think that wind's going to be good, though.
I think you're going to see really big bags on Saturday and Sunday. When there's less people out there, I think it's going to get freaking gnarly.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have –
I think you're going to –
it sucks to see, but, like, you're going to have guys that get their bag early and quick and then leave because they don't want people to see it. You know what I mean?
I think you're going to have guys catch their bag and lay on their front deck.
Oh, and then pulling the Timmy Horton, just get a pizza.
Stay on spot lock and just sit there if you got the cast in the spot.
Damn. Yeah?
No, I could totally see that. Though.
Yeah. That's the way those ledge derbies go down.
How many bags over 30?
A lot.
8.
8 total out of the whole tournament?
In the tournament? I was thinking like 2 days.
Out of the whole tournament, how many 30-pound bags? Oh, how about this? How about per day? Do you think there will be over 4 per day? Over 2?
3 to 5.
3 to 5?
A day.
Wow.
I would guess.
Yeah, I would say that. Like just
How many was that
throwing it.
Santee? Is it like 3 per day average ish? At
But
Santee?
it's the wrong time of year when it was on Santee. Like Santee is fully capable of doing that, but here, like the timing is right. Like they're gonna catch him. They're absolutely gonna smash him. Like I would say 4 to 6 is my guess.
Per day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
beyond like big swim baits, top water, big, deep cranks.
None of that will play. I don't think any of that will play. But
What?
So they can catch them on.
10XD, big worm, big swim bait.
That's what we're just saying.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
I was so
You said
confused.
top water. You said top water. And
I said big swim baits, top water, deep cranks, and I was gonna keep going, but you're like, won't play.
Did you hear him talk about Kenta swimming a wacky rig Senko in 24 feet?
Absolutely.
That was Taku, actually. Thank you. Let's end it with this, and it's we talked baits and what we're probably going to see, but what's one unique technique that you think could play that people aren't expecting?
That they aren't expecting?
Like Taku Ito swimming a wacky rig and catching a 8-pounder.
Somebody's probably going to catch them on a frog somewhere if they can find water that has cattails around it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think it's like 5 feet low, so that's.
Oh yeah, you're right. That we'll count that out. They'll still eat it though. Bastard dumb.
Depth's free rig will
Free
catch
rig?
like a 8+ pounder. That depths whatever.
Masayuki.
Yeah. Yeah.
Masayuki was throwing that at the St. John's River. Yeah.
Crush.
Speaking of which,
Giant. I'm gonna say giant hair jig.
giant hair jig. Okay, I can see that play. Andy, you got anything? I'm gonna say a scrounger.
I don't think anybody's thrown a scrounger in forever. Oh, that's tough.
People don't talk about when they throw a scrounger. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's spotted cow.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
bro.
I'm so jealous.
I don't think you're going to see anything like too crazy just because it's Lake Fork. You know what you're getting. Glide baits. You might see a big spinner bait play if the wind blows right on points or trees.
Like you're
That
talking
could
like
be
an
something
ouncer.
different. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
If there's a shad spawn going. Yeah. Like if you have a shad spawn early in the morning, you could see a spinnerbait play. That's why I kept going back to Clark Wendland. I was like, you might find a spinnerbait bite somewhere in the morning.
A Tokyo rig 10-inch worm. That's interesting. That'd be kind of unique.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, all right. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Could work.
All right. Anything else to add before we wrap this up here, boys?
No, I think excited to see you go down.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the tournament, and I'm excited to see if you guys land a bass over 2 pounds for chasing ghosts.
We won't.
Dude,
I don't know why I hang out with this guy anymore.
Cody looks
Might
straight
catch
out of
some
Super.
muskie.
He looks straight out of
love
Super
to
Trooper.
go muskie fishing.
He told me we do
You
that
want
in
to
the
come
fall
up muskie
too.
fishing?
I got the Niagara. I can go catch muskie if I wanted in like
Oh,
a month and a half. Big ones.
you suck.
No, like
You suck.
Yeah. Yeah, the upper Niagara is 7 minutes from my house. Buffalo is 15.
That's awesome. I wish.
Cody, you look
Yeah.
straight out of Super Troopers.
What do you think this look is about?
Is that the inspiration? I love it. I love it. All right, boys. Let's wrap this shindig up. Cody, thank you for being our surprise guest today.
Yeah,
Bart,
Yeah,
it's
thank
good
you.
to see your face on Fantasy Fishing Show for it's been a minute, buddy. So it's good to see your face on here.
Yeah, for sure.
Folks, as always, appreciate y'all, and we will see you guys on the next one.